The basketball gods gave us this opportunity, but they're not going to give us the win. We're going to have to go earn it.
We're not going to chase a little crystal ball to tell us that we've got character and we've got winners.
This is the first time in history that the Budweiser League is decided by the final game of the season between the two sides trying to win it. At the MEN Arena in Manchester, it's the Giants against the Sheffield Sharks. Hello and welcome to the ultimate game of the 1998-99 season. The Manchester Giants enthusiastically welcomed their visitors today, the Sheffield Sharks, as only a week ago the title looked to be firmly in the grip of Sheffield. But the Sharks slipped up on Chester on Sunday to put both teams on the same record going into the final game. Head-to-head means nothing, as today's winner is a winner-take-all contest. This beautiful trophy is what it's all about, and you can be assured that both teams will be playing their hearts out to secure it. With me today is the coach of the past two league winners, the Greater London Lepers. We welcome Billy Mims. Billy, I know when you look at this trophy, you're going to have to give it away today. You feel like crying. I bought an extra handkerchief if you need it.
Absolutely. My owner, Ed Simons, is down courtside as well.
Oh, he's crying too,
and
huh?
He said definitely when this game's over, there'll be a tear in his eye.
Okay, all right. So the intensity is building, and stuck in the middle of it all at courtside is Suzanne Dando. It's a big hello to you.
Thanks, Kev. I love being stuck in the middle of this, and I can't begin to describe the atmosphere here courtside. Well, I could, but it takes far too long, but it is electric, and everybody is up for this one tonight. And you know, when Sheffield won their first 10 games of the season, everybody was flicking through that fixtures list to see when they would come up against the all-powerful Manchester Giants. Well, it's right here and now, at the very end of the season, one last time, and oh boy, it's winner takes all. The Sharks' loss to Chester was hard for both the league's top two sides, hard for Sheffield to take and hard for Manchester to believe.
I looked at the teletext late on Sunday night and I just couldn't believe I was just staring at it. I was like, hold on, is that correct? Chester up ahead on Sheffield.
We have to be mentally strong just because we gave the season up on Sunday. We had it wrapped up and we lost the game.
And so to a repeat showdown of that epic double overtime game played a fortnight ago.
Even though we've beaten them last time we played them, they still think that they were wronged, and they've cried about it since then. So this is what they wanted, and this is what they're getting.
The last game we played against them, it wasn't decided by Sheffield or us. It was decided by a call at the end of the game that really, a hard-fought game the way it was fought to be ended the way it ended. We felt cheated. That game should go into another overtime. And I think they know that.
Having played each other 5 times already this season, each coach is sure of both his own and his opponent's tactics.
We run what we call motion-based stuff, and we feel that we just get beat up way too much doing that. So we'll have to run a lot more set plays coming into this game.
I think we know what we got to do. If we're going to beat Sheffield, we got to play really well. We got to play really hard. We got to play intense. We got to play smart. We know that it's not going to be easy to beat them. It's going to be a 40 minutes of grueling work for us to do it.
But it's the players on court who will decide the final outcome, and they've all got plenty to say.
Everything's on the line, and that's what it's all about. There's no complaints. There's no excuses. It's one game. Whoever wins the best, and that's how it should be.
The better team? No doubt Manchester's the better team. We had a couple of bad patches, so did Sheffield. But on tonight, we get to see who really is the better team.
Pressure's going to be on them. The crowd's going to be behind them. We're going to have our crowd there to cheer us on, as always, and that'll be a comfort to us. But being at the games that they play, the pressure lies with them.
They can play like there's no pressure on them, but they want to win a title just as bad as we do.
I'm prepared to do anything to help this team win. If it comes down to the last shot again, I'll be more than willing and be calling for the ball. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that.
Today's the last game of the season. Winner takes all. That's all that matters.
And there's no question about it being a winner takes all. During that piece there, they talked numerous times about who's the favorite team, who's the underdog. Is that a bunch of...
I think it is, Kevin, because
Today you got two games, 40 minutes of basketball, and you got two very good basketball teams. Anything can happen in 40 minutes.
You have big games, big contests, big boxing matches, big football games, basketball games. You get the hype. Will this game live up to the hype?
Well, you hope so. Like you and I are both American. You covered the Super Bowl this past year. Very rarely does a big game live up to all the hype. But I think this one's got all the makings of hype. It's got all the makings of success, and we ought to be in for a big-time afternoon of basketball today.
Sheffield has beaten Manchester 3 out of the 5 times. Does that make them, would you say, a favorite coming into this game?
Well, not really. Two reasons why. One is it's at Manchester today, and even though Nick Nurse says they've played better at Sheffield than they have at home, it's still good to be playing this game in front of your 10,000 fans and not Sheffield's. Second reason is look at the amount of championship players on the Manchester Giants squad. John White, Makiba Perry, Ronnie Baker, Tony Holly. These guys have won championships. They've been there. Most of them have been there with me. But they know what it's about to win this, and they want to take it home again today, right here for the folks of Manchester.
Okay, and speaking of that, let's look at some of the facts with the Manchester Giants that we picked up. Now here, you talked about the guys that have won championships and league titles, and they have won it with you. Tony Dorsey is the only guy for Manchester not to have won a league title. Will that be sitting in the back of his mind?
Well, I think, Tony Dorsey's been a great player. He's won championships, and he's been a player of the year. But to win the league is something he's yet to achieve. I'm sure today he wants to change that statistic.
And look at this number here, 67 points between the three, 27 for the rest of the team. Will they be able to come up with a victory today if the rest of the team just comes with that type of number?
Hey, the rest of the team sometimes don't even have to score. We've seen the big three carry them solely. They average 67, but that big three is capable of getting over 100 between them. So they've always rotated around the big three. The big three will have to be stopped today for the Sharks to have a chance.
And Manchester led the league in rebounding. How big will rebounding be in today's contest?
Well, Manchester likes to run, and they like to score points. If you don't rebound, you can't run.
And as we look at the Sheffield Sharks, the facts on them, they have there, with Sheffield, they've won 31 out of 33 games. Now, these are total games here. 10-6 out of their last 16 games. Have they lost the plot?
I don't think so. I think it's a long season. And towards the end of the season, you slip up a few times because you're mentally and physically tired. But today, you bring all your juice to the game. You bring your mental focus, your physical preparation. They won't have lost the plot today. They'll be here to play.
Terrell Myers, the only Sheffield player in the top 20 scorers. Who do you see as being the guy that needs to stand up big for them today?
Well, outside of Terrell Myers, they've been carried, I think, by their backcourt. Travis Conlon's had a tremendous rookie season in the Budweiser League. If Conlon plays well today and scores 20-plus points, I think the Sharks will have a chance to win this game.
Sheffield averaging 93 a game, giving up, or 77, 79, a plus 14 ratio. You look on the other side, Manchester, league's leading scoring team, 94 points plus 11 ratio. Is that what separates the teams?
Sometimes that's a statistic that you can make it say whatever you want it to say. But the Giants, they don't care how many points their opponents score. They're kind of like the old Leopards. They look to outscore their opponents. They don't concern themselves every time down with defense, but get a stop and outscore our opponent and we'll win.
Who do you have and by how many?
I got to go with the Giants because they got so many of my ex-players on there. My heart is with those guys. I take the Giants by 3 in a great game.
Okay, so will Manchester's John White win his 3rd consecutive league title, or will Sheffield's Chris Finch become the first man in basketball league history to win the title as both player and coach? You gotta love it. At courtside, Billy Mims joins Daniel Routledge for the action.
Thank you very much, Kevin. It does promise to be a tremendous game. Let's get into the team list, starting with the Manchester Giants. And last week, Nick Nurse said if there was a basketball god up there, he'd give us one more shot. Well, it probably took Dr. James Naismith, the founder of the game himself, but he got his wish, Nick Nurse, and here it is tonight. Looking to the starting fives, and all season long the talk has been of Manchester's big three, Dorsey, White, and Holly. But if they're to win it all tonight, they'll need a big performance from the little two, so to speak, Ronnie Baker and Makiba Perry. To the Sheffield Sharks, and Sheffield were within minutes of lifting the title last Sunday. How they mentally lift themselves up from that bitter disappointment will probably decide who lifts the trophy at the end of the game. To the starting five, and Peter Scantlebury makes his 500th league appearance tonight, but it's swapped that accolade for a winner's medal. You can be sure of that. Terrell Myers will be key, but his teammates have to step up if the Sharks are to win their second title. Well, they say the Budweiser League season is a marathon, not a sprint. If that's the case, the two front runners have done the 26 miles. They're in the stadium. They're on the running track. It's a flat-out sprint to the line, Billy Mims.
Oh, what an atmosphere we've got here in the arena today. This is big-time British basketball.
And the Manchester Giants in white come up with the first possession in the title decider. Dorsey going inside. Out to Ronnie Baker. White in the low post, his double team, gets it out to Baker, he lines up a three. That one's too long, rebound for Todd Crawford. The Manchester Giants bookies favorites by 2, Billy Mims. You said 3.
Well, you know, I always like that 3-point differential because it gives the Sharks a chance to tie, you know, for that overtime.
Traveling violation called underneath on Wilbur Johnson.
We also, you see on that play, we get a call made by Will Jones. We've got 2 of British basketball's best as we watch Will Johnson travel. 2 of the game's best referees today, Will Jones and Keith Bruce, and I'm looking for excitement.
White in the corner for 3. John White with a big 3 from the corner.
I've seen him do that an awful lot in his last 2 championship seasons. And I tell you what, John White is a man on a mission. When you give him a big game, he produces.
Conlon going to the basket, laying it in off the glass, and the Sharks have their first score of the game. There's another look at it. Good strong move. White again for 3. This one's long. And of course, John White looking for his 3rd straight Budweiser League title.
Well, you know, he takes a lot of pride in his ability to play this game. And if he does it today, he'll be the only guy that's ever won the league championship in every year he's played in the Budweiser League. So if he wins today, John White's going to say, hey, hire me, pay me what I ask, and the championship will follow John White.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of people willing to do that in the summer as well. Manchester, of course, will be top of the list there. Here comes Ronnie Baker, then over to John White. Makiba Perry. Perry backing in. Perry with the shot. It's short. Going after his own boards, but Cawthorn comes up with it, runs into Dorsey, and then hands over to Johnson.
Good no call by the officials on that play.
Johnson loses the handle. It's looking a little bit nervous out there, Billy. Is that what you would expect with so much at stake here tonight?
Well, I think these players have been looking forward to this game ever since Chester beat the Sharks the other night. I think what happens is it's a big game. You know what's at stake. You just want to play the game and get on with it. So it'll take them a few minutes, but they'll both give us what we came for, a show.
Johnson gives Sheffield the first lead of the game for them. Holly driving through the middle is short. Perry trying to fight for the rebound. Somehow it came in to the hands of Travis Conlon.
So far, the Sharks done an excellent job on the defensive glass.
Scamps for 3 is short. Rebound, John White. Stolen away by Terrell Myers. He's got Baker to beat. He goes past him and draws the foul from Ronnie Baker.
That's probably a good foul by Ronnie Baker there, because if he does it, if he lets Terrell Myers turn the corner there, Terrell's got to lay up and assure 2 points. Now the Sharks got to bring it in and earn the possession. Here we get a good look at it. You see, Ronnie's just holding Terrell on the hip there.
Myers with a quick shot. Chris Hinch was saying they were looking for 1 pass, 1 shot. We'll keep an eye on that.
Well, I don't know how much we'll see out of that. I think that's a little bit of hype on Chris's part as well. I think the Sharks will do what they've done all season, play solid team basketball, but you can bet you the man with the ball right there in our picture, Terrell Myers, will take more shots today than anybody else on the floor, except maybe the man guarding it.
John White being the man guarding it. Myers with the dish to Conlon. Conlon under pressure from Perry. Draws the foul, number 1 on Makiba Perry.
Today is a big game, and big players show up for big games. John White, Terrell Myers, 2 of the top candidates for the British Basketball Player of the Year as we watch the play on the baseline there. Foul on Makiba Perry there. Not so sure. That was a close, tough call there. You know, it's about who creates contact. Perry was protecting the basket. Conlon took it to the basket through Perry, but Conlon's going to get 2 free throws.
Travis Conlon struggled from the line of late, missed 3 of 4 in the dying seconds at Chester last week.
And you know, of all the players on the floor, you got to remember, Travis Conlon's a rookie from the University of Michigan. We've got about 10,000 people in the house today. but he probably more than anybody on court is used to playing in front of big crowds.
Misses a second. Scans tips it back to him. Cawthorn on the trail. Couldn't get the roll. Fighting for the rebound, but Holly was too strong.
Cawthorn missed an easy bunny of a layup.
Baker for three. Lonnie Baker all trying. The Giants are back in front.
The little big man, he's picking up where he left off. Here's Ronnie's three. He was the MVP of the Uniball Trophy Final, and he looked like an MVP on that three-pointer.
He hit 5 3-pointers on that night, equaled the record in the trophy final. That's his first of the evening. Great pass and the slam dunk from Pete Scantlebury.
Nice baseline pick there by the Sharks. The Giants double teamed it and left Johnson open. You can't leave Will open there. He'll dunk every one of those he gets.
Holly spinning baseline. The foul there on Todd Cawthorn.
Sort of they're being consistent. That looked like to be about the same kind of call that they just called him Makiba Perry. So they're going to protect the guys going to the basket.
Holly to the fall away. Tough shot. Didn't get the roll. Knocked loose by Conlon. He comes up with the ball. Conlon skip pass to Myers. Fakes at the three. Drives through. And then decides to reset things for the Sharks. Scantlebury for three. It's long. Perry had it knocked away. Holly with the quick outlet. Broken up by Peter Scantlebury.
The most experienced British basketball player on the floor today has made, I think today it's his 500th appearance in the Budweiser League. So again, his experience, something the Sharks brought in mid-season when he transferred from Newcastle, and I think it has been something they wanted to have a day like this to prove it will help.
Dorsey to his trademark fall away. Count it.
The Giants are loaded with offensive firepower. White, Dorsey on the turnaround here, former players of the year, Holly, Baker, offensive firepower in every position.
Good spot by the referee. Foul called on Tony Holly. Just gave a little bump to the man running through the middle. Holly had a word or two with Travis Conlon, but a referee on the baseline saw that, Keith Bruce, and made the call.
Keith Bruce is telling them down there, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. So, again, I think the officials from the start of this game have dictated the way this championship decider is going to be played. They're calling it tight, and they're staying on top of the game.
Myers from deep, in and out. Johnson going after it, tipped it off a Giant, and it will be a Sharks ball.
That's an excellent out-of-bounds play that the Sharks run for Terrell Myers. Believe me, I've seen him knock down a lot of those this year, and they're going to, they haven't hit one yet. They got too many good shooters. McKinney, Payne, Myers, Cawthorn. They'll get their three-point shots falling before it's over.
0 of 5 thus far this evening. Myers skips it round to Payne, looking for the first three. Count it!
They've got too many good shooters. There's Chris Finch looking up at the clock, and that's why he brought Michael Payne into the game, just to do exactly that. He replaces Scantlebury, knocks down a three.
Dorsey replies at the other end with a three of his own, and there have been some long shots going up thus far.
Hey, it's a shootout at the Manchester Evening News OK Corral.
Cawthorn spins, kicks to Johnson. Johnson short on his shot, and Makiba Perry Cook is there to get it.
If you're the Giants, that's the shot you want Will Johnson to take. Don't give him dunks and layups, but jumpers are okay.
Dorsey lobs into Makiba Perry. Cawthorn caught reaching round, and the referee whistles in for the foul.
And that's, kind of an inconsequential foul because the Giants are going to take the ball out of bounds. So, it's kind of a wasted foul. All it does is put the Giants one step closer to the bonus.
It was Mike Payne, in fact, who got the foul whistled on him. He was on the other side. Makiba Perry way too strong on the layup. Mike Payne with the rebound. Conlon on his own with 5 Giants in front of him. Backs out. Fires up for three. Short on that one, Travis Conlon. Holly with the rebound. Baker has White ahead of him, finds White. White goes strong and is fouled by Wilbur Johnson.
That's a good play by John White there because, again, you'd like to get Will Johnson in foul trouble. That's his first personal foul 6 minutes into the game here. But if you take it hard to the basket, you're going to get fouled. And the Manchester Giants this year, not only are they tied at the top with the Sheffield Sharks, but these are the 2 basketball teams that have shot more free throws this season in British basketball. They know how to attack the basket, they know how to get fouled, and they know how to make free throws.
John White, 90% I believe he's shooting on the season from the foul line. Just over 90%. for this season.
Talking about team attempts, and
White misses
a
one.
very rare miss from John White. But talking about team attempts, the Manchester Giants are the only team in British basketball to have shot over 1,000 free throws in the season.
Great pass to Myers, stumbling through the middle, and he has to come all the way out. Myers with a little shake and bake, pulls up, off the back of the ring. Cawthorn fighting for it with White. It touched White last, and will be a Sharks ball.
John, a little emotional there. You see the look on John's face that says, no way that wasn't out on me. And I say, John is focused. You can see it in his face. Watch him in his play. John's going to give us a great game today, I think.
Neither team shooting particularly well so far this evening, 36, 31%, but there is an awful lot on the game. And that, great kick from Travis Conlon to tie it at 12.
You don't usually expect your point guards to get offensive rebounds and stickbacks, but you see Myers missed the shot. Conlon going to the basket. Now, that was good on that play, but if that happens too much,
White misses the three.
The Sharks will be a little bit vulnerable for the Manchester break. When Myers shoots the shot and Conlon goes for the rebound, none of those big guys are going to get back to the other end to stop the Giants.
Conlon going after the boards at both ends of the floor. Dorsey spins on Michael Payne, forced to throw it out. Perry round to Dorsey, sells the fake. Dorsey under pressure. Long on his shot, rebound McKeever Perry. Stolen away by Myers. He couldn't quite keep it in bounds, though.
Interesting on that possession, we saw the Sharks change defenses for the first time in the game. On that out-of-bounds play, now they're going to do it again. They're going 2-3 zone or 3-2 possibly with Conlon and top. Either 2-3 or 3-2, but definitely looking at a zone on the inbounds play.
It's lobbed into John White. Holly going underneath. Holly under pressure, a little strong on it, trying to fight for the offensive rebound, gets it and puts it back in.
And that's the big problem with the Sheffield zone. We saw the first time they ran it, McKeever Perry got the offensive rebound. The second time they ran the zone, Tony Holly got the offensive rebound. They got to box out if they're going to run that zone.
Myers going baseline. Myers throws it away. It came off somebody's foot, said the referee. And Ronnie Baker was suggesting it was Will Johnson's foot. The referee thought otherwise, and it'll be the Sheffield ball from the end.
We just took a look there. We see Ronnie Baker here. We just took a look at Nick Nurse. Here's the play. Let's see what happened there. Ronnie Baker was right. It definitely went off Will Johnson. Break for the Sharks here as they get the ball back. Terrell Myers getting a rest now on the bench for the Sharks along with Will Johnson.
Mike Payne backs out for three. That one's short. He was under a lot of pressure from White. Here comes White on the break. White going up for the layup. Rebound Conlon. Away comes Scantlebury. He has Payne ahead of him, and the rest of his teammates catching up now. McKinney to Payne, given some space, changes his mind and drives along the baseline. McKinney wide open for three, short on that one. Holly loses it from behind his back. Sharks ball.
Nick Nurse is a bit irate on the sideline. I think Nick is saying every time the ball goes out on the baseline, on our end of the floor, it goes back to the Sharks. So Nick's a bit hot on the sideline talking to Keith Bruce right now.
1 of 10 from behind the three-point line, the Sheffield Sharks. They are the best three-point shooting team in the league, but they haven't got it to go so far tonight.
Well, this is the largest arena in British basketball. And if you're not used to shooting in this big house, sometimes the long-range shots are a bit difficult.
Mike Payne makes that 1 of 11. Cawthorn did a good job. Great pass from Conlon to Scantlebury for 2.
One of the best playmakers in the game. Travis Conlon has eyes in the back of his head. Look at this pass. No look, under his arm, behind his back, feeds to Scantlebury for the score.
Beautiful pass by Travis Conlon. Some kicks round to Baker. Baker penetrating. Stopped at the foul line. White for 3. Rebound again for Travis Conlon.
From the start of this game, you'd think these teams do nothing but shoot three-pointers.
Scants in the corner. Cawthorn again got a tip, but this time it only went to Baker. Baker trying to drive past Travis Conlon and picks up the foul.
Big foul there again. That's the first person on Conlon, but they're starting to spread them around the Sharks a bit. The Sharks, I don't believe, have the depth to lose a couple of these guys and win. Now, the last time they played at 9X, they did lose a couple of these guys, and they did hang on and win, but only by the skin of their teeth. And if the Giants had a little bit better start in that game, they probably would have won it down the finish. Today, the Giants have certainly had a good enough start.
Wilbur Johnson checks back into the game, as does Terrell Myers. The other way, Jason Swain gets his first taste of the action. A former Sheffield shot, won the league with them. And Makiba Perry also coming back. Good hands from Scants to knock it loose. Myers going after it. McKinney tips it to him. Myers pulls up for three. Gets the roll and it goes. The referee signals three.
I think he's standing on the line. I'd like to have a Sky Sports replay on that. That was right in front of you and I, Daniel, and I surely thought he was towing that line and maybe a bit across the line. Here's a good replay. Ooh, huh? Good call by Keith Bruce. Bad call by Billy Mills.
Just had his toes behind it. Some kicks to reply for three. Yes! Some kicks. And we're tied at 17.
The best way to defend the three-pointer is make one yourself.
McKinney going baseline, ran out of court as he tried to go past his close mate Jason Swain, and Manchester will have it from the end. But first of all, they're going to check John White back into the game for Makiba Perry.
Sheffield has come out very aggressive, and the tempo right now, I think, favors the Manchester Giants. The Giants really like this up and down the floor tempo, quick shots, not the Sharks.
White under pressure for three, air ball. Conlon throws it long to Myers. Great pass. Myers all the way blocked by White. Rebound Scantlebury gets two goes at it, and it's a Manchester ball.
You see a lot of fire there from Ronnie Baker. As you saw that, he jumped up about 6 feet in the air on that, saying, it's our basketball, let's go get it done. Ronnie Baker will be the floor leader today that the Giants so desperately need to win this title at home.
John White has a glance up at the clock. He sees there are 10 seconds left here in the first period. It's tied at 17. Baker penetrating, broken up by Myers. Myers to Conlon, stolen by White. But he can't get the shot off in time. It wouldn't have counted. There's been nothing between them all season. There's nothing between them in the title decider here. At the end of the first quarter at the MEN, it's the Manchester Giants 17, the Sheffield Sharks 17. We'll be right back.
2 days of fire on ice as the championship playoffs reach their climax. Easter Saturday, the Cardiff Devils head into a storm when they face off against Super League champions Manchester. Then live, do the Nottingham Panthers have the animal instinct to take the sting out of the Bracknell Bees? With only a blade away from Sunday's final, the margin for error is 0. The ice hockey playoffs, Saturday and Sunday, Sky Sports.
Oh, hello. Come for a spin with me and discover how will you eat yours. 1.
If you're watching in black and white, eat the yellow bit first.
2. Find the star and lick it off. 3. Eat it with the lights off. I've seen the future. And it's egg-shaped!
How will you eat yours? No steaming, no struggle, no wallpaper. Polycell Easy Strip. It only takes 2 ticks.
Our busy weekend of live sports continues on Easter Saturday. There's live rugby union at 2 o'clock, the Tetley's Bitter Cup semifinal between Richmond and Newcastle. There's live cricket at 3, the West Indies against Australia in the 4th test. And at 4:30, it's ice hockey. The championship semifinals, the Cardiff Devils against Manchester Storm and the Nottingham Panthers against the Bracknell Bees. And coming up on Saturday night, a big night of live championship boxing, including Marco Antonio Barrera against Paul Lloyd for the WBO Super Bantamweight title, and Julius Francis against Danny Williams for the British Heavyweight title. Now, Sheffield have won the last 5 league games against Manchester. It's all even at 17 after 1 quarter. Back to Billy and Daniel.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Straight into the match facts, and the thing that leaps out at me off the page is the poor shooting from three-point land by Sheffield.
Yeah, but we've shot 22 three-point attempts in the first quarter. This is downtown basketball. The Sharks have been the best in the country. The Giants certainly one of the best, and I think we'll see a lot more shot, and I think the Sharks will get better.
Now, if we flip over onto the next page here and take a look at the rebounding here, Sheffield with 8 offensive rebounds, but when you miss that many threes, you're going to get offensive rebounds.
That's correct, but again, I think the Sharks have done the job on the offensive glass, where the Giants seem to have been standing a watch.
We're ready to go then with the second quarter. Holly and Johnson up and underway. The tip goes to Terrell Myers. Had Scantlebury there, but for some reason didn't opt to pass to him. Conlon for 3 short. Cawthorne off a great tip. from Pete Scantlebury to keep it alive.
Terrell Myers on that tip, I thought, lost an opportunity for an easy score. He did have Scantlebury. He thought White was defending where he couldn't get the pass there, but all he needed to do was ball fake and try to take John White, maybe draw a foul or get the layup. So I thought Terrell should have gone to the basket, gave up an easy opportunity for a score or a foul in the time.
It's Hawthorne going to the line, though.
Hawthorne has been the blue-collar worker of this franchise for the last 5 years, hasn't he? And once again, you see he's standing out there on the line with a chance to bring a title to Sheffield. Really been sort of a backbone of this franchise.
6 Sheffield players on the score sheet already tonight, the 5 starters and Michael Payne. Holly in the post. Stolen away by Terrell Myers. Myers has Conlon with him. Finds Conlon. Conlon going up is fouled by John White. And he'll go to line for a couple.
Now, see, that's what you have to do there. You need to get 1 or 2 of the big 3 in foul trouble. That's only the first foul on John White. But, you know, as the game wears on, you attack the basket more and more, you'll get some of those opportunities. John White and Tony Dorsey play aggressive defense. Therefore, the more you attack them, the more chances you have to draw fouls.
9 fouls in the game thus far as Conlon misses the first. We got 5 against Manchester, 4 against Sheffield. Nobody has picked up 2 fouls as yet. Conlon 50% from the line again on his second trip.
Well, on the season, he's struggled a bit at the free throw line as well. He hasn't been one of the Sharks' top free throw shooters. It's been kind of amazing there because most point guards who have soft touch, great court vision, generally are pretty good free throw shooters.
67% free throw shooter on the season as Dorsey spins. Holly trying to get the tip. Perry comes down with it off the glass.
Now there's an offensive rebound and a stick back.
Traveling violation is called against Travis Conlon, and the Giants will get it back.
A bit of a quick whistle there, but at the end of the day, let's see it. We'll take a look at it. I don't know. I think he caught it and got himself in position. I'm not quite sure. But then again, it's payback because Will Johnson did knock one out of bounds there.
White for 3. The tip from Holly gets to Dorsey. Dorsey had it knocked away. Myers with it. Myers with the sweet-looking move. The long jump shot has a think, doesn't go. Conlon again with an offensive rebound. Myers traveled. Double dribbling ball.
Good call there by Keith Bruce on that play there. John White made the play. Defensively, he got out. Myers was spotting up for the 3. John got up in the air in his face, forced Myers to have to rethink the shot into a turnover.
Was going for the shot. Once he left the ground, you got to shoot it. You can't dribble it, which is what he was trying to do. Dorsey with Swain coming along the baseline, gets it inside to Holly. Holly banging away against Johnson. Scantlebury with the block from behind. And Conlon just going to slow it down under direction from his coach, Chris Finch. Just said, slow things down, guys.
Well, we talked about pace in the first quarter being the Giants.
Myers to Conlon. Cawthorne for 3.
And I believe that was a little bit more than one pass and a shot, which we heard Coach Finch talking about during the week. This is Sheffield basketball. Conlon penetrates, kicks to Myers. Myers draws the D, kicks cross-court to Cawthorne. 3-point field goal. Great passing by the Sheffield Sharks.
The biggest lead of the night so far, 4 points for Sheffield as Holly goes through the middle. He draws the foul. Now, when we were at the Uniball Trophy final, Billy, you were telling me about this lucky suit that Nick Nurse had on. And he seems to have it on again here tonight.
Hey, I tell you, I mean, all Nick's got to do to win championships is keep that suit clean. Every time he puts it on. He won the championship at Wembley for the Birmingham Bullets, and Harry Rubleski, his owner at the time, wearing that suit. He won the Uniball Trophy Championship wearing that suit, and now he's about to possibly claim the Budweiser League crown, and he's brought back out his favorite suit.
Holly makes the first free throw.
And I have to say this to our viewers out there, I know Nick quite well, and he does own more than one suit as well.
Just had to clear that one up, didn't you, Billy? Holly misses the second. Hawthorne rips it down. And again, a patient, slow start to the offense here by the Sharks.
A little bit more of the Sharks' tempo here. Set up their offense, get it to Myers, and attack the basket.
Exactly what Myers did. He couldn't get the roll, though, and White will run it back. Has Perry with him. Still John White. John White pushes off. Travis Conlon looking for the foul and getting it.
That's a good call there, I think. John White doesn't like the call, but then again, John's one of these players in the Budweiser League who's never committed a foul. You know, there are a few players around this league that foul people and don't ever believe. John played 2 years for me, and I never saw a foul call that he believed he committed. So, again, he's still having a conversation with Keith Bruce, but I thought Travis Conlon that time got in John's way, did a great job giving up his body and taking the charge.
And did a great job of convincing the referee as well. He did give the referee some help with that little fall back there.
It's called the Academy of Basketball.
Wendell up top. Time ticking down now on the Sharks offense. Great pass from Conlon to Myers. He's blocked though by Perry. White stumbling to the ground and gets it away before committing the travel.
A couple of things there. I thought Myers might have been fouled. White might have got away with a travel. So either way, the Giants coming out very lucky on that possession.
White driving through the middle, running into Wendell. Ball loose on the floor. He's picked up by Perry. There's a foul before the shot. The basket won't count. It's on Richard Wendell.
And I have to say, this is a good defensive play by the Sharks here and a big break for them. I thought on the drive, John White might have got fouled. He's one of their best, one of the league's best free throw shooters. Watch John White here. Could have been a foul there on Wendell, stepping into White. But instead, we get Wendell fouling Nikita Perry, who's just missed, and he's probably the Giants' worst free throw shooter. So, big defensive play there by Wendell, not fouling White, fouling Perry.
He is indeed the worst free throw shooter on the Manchester Giants, shooting 50% from the line, drawing a blank on both of those, though.
Well, you see, that's as good as a turnover. When you get 2 free shots and miss them both, you might as well have thrown the ball out of bounds and given it to the Sharks. Cawthorn to Myers, great pass, and Myers converts. They do that cut from the top about as well as any team in the country. Myers made a backdoor cut similar to this to beat us in the National Cup final.
5 points now, the biggest lead of the game for the Sharks.
We got a long way to go yet for 5 points to matter.
Dorsey under pressure gets the roll and trims it back to 3. The quick outlet to Cawthorn. Cawthorn, Defoe hit him hard. Foul ball.
Todd Cawthorn is very deceptive in his speed. You know, he's a big, bulky body of an inside-outside player. He looks more to be a post player than a perimeter player, but we've already seen him knock down a three-pointer, and now we've seen him outrun the Manchester Giants. So Todd's certainly a deceptive player. Big-time play by Todd here. And I said at the beginning of the game with Kevin Cadle that Travis Conlon has to step up and have a good game. But I also believe that, you know, if there's a big 3 for the Sharks, even though they're team-oriented, it's Myers, Conlon, and this guy, Todd Cawthorn. If those 3 can match the big 3 of the Giants today, we're in for a heck of a show.
It's been a pretty good show thus far. 14 minutes into the game, it's the Sharks who lead by 4 in the title decider here. Winner takes all, and Cawthorn makes it 27-22 to the visitors.
And both of these teams today are playing for the double en route to a possible triple, because the Sharks won the National Cup by beating us. The Manchester Giants beat the Derby Storm in the Uniball Trophy. So whoever wins today will be on their second title of the year, second piece of silverware in the British game, and headed towards Wembley.
People come from up and down the country to see this one. Billy Singleton of the Leicester Riders in the house tonight, and I've seen plenty of other people about that have come for this big game.
And I want you to know, Bill's got 2 seats there. There's no 1 seat in 9X Arena big enough for Big Bill Singleton.
You hope he doesn't watch that back later. He lost a lot of weight this season, to be fair to Billy. He's lost a lot of weight this season.
But Billy had a lot of weight to lose. Now, Big Bill's a good friend of mine. He's a big fishing buddy from South Carolina.
Dorsey makes it a 4-point game, and Myers puts to run it back. If we look at the free throw shooting, Billy, 38% for the Manchester Giants.
Now, well, the thing is, it's all about putting the right guys on the free throw line. So far, the Sharks have fouled the right Giants.
McKinney round the baseline, nowhere to go. Oh, Wendell came up with the loose ball. Scamps going inside, is fouled by Baker, I think on the floor, but we'll wait and see. Here's another look at
He's going to give him 2 shots on the play. I don't know about that either. He's going to get 2 shots, and I don't believe they're in the penalty.
They are in the penalty, in fact, so he will get 2 shots. It is a penalty. He wasn't going to give him 2 shots unless there was Nick Nurse not happy with things on the sideline there.
I see the scoreboard here at Manchester Evening News Arena. Bit misleading. It has the Giants marked for penalty and not the Sharks. So the team fouls do reflect more on the Giants, but it has the Giants in the penalty when it should be the Sharks.
It's a 6-point Sheffield lead. We were level at the start of this quarter, so it's been a good start here as Pete Scanterbury goes to the bench for the Sheffield Sharks.
And Chris Finch has done a good job here in the first half, in the first and second quarters. You take a good look at Chris in his nice white sweater today. He's done a good job of rotating his squad. He's got Richard Wendell in the game. Payne and McKinney have both been off the bench.
Some kits for 3. Too long on that one. Holly cleared the space, and John White got the rebound.
And now you're fouling the wrong guy there. Even though he's missed one already, I think John White is probably, what is he, 2nd or 3rd in the league in free throw shooting?
3rd.
And he's making about 90% of them, so.
Some kits there with the long shot, rebounded by White, and he got fouled and that sent him to the line. You say he's missed one, he'll probably only miss one all game.
Yeah, he doesn't miss many free throws, and like I said, he's a big game player, and he's up for big games and big situations.
John White with 6 points.
Very quiet start for John White. You'll see him heat up, and he's kind of a bit like, I'll say this.
Conlon driving to the hole. What a great move by Travis Conlon. And you were about to say, Billy.
Well, we've got a timeout coming here, so I think we'll probably go down court side.
4:57 to go. The Giants trail by 6. It's a timeout to Nick Nurse. Let's take a listen.
Get the goddamn board. Give me the board. Hey! Hey! Sit down, Holly. He comes off this thing. Who's coming? Is this guy coming up? Who's going? They're playing. They're just running. Is he coming up or what? Hey, give a little help. Get off the ball. Get off the ball and rotate. We can't let him turn the corner and go. Dorsey, where's he going? Up? Your guy here. Who's guarding this guy? He's guarding. Come on, bring your window. Get the block. Hey.
Just talking about the plays there, Billy. He's worried on the defensive end about Sheffield, what they're running. If we look at the shooting stats here tonight, not the sort of numbers you would expect from the number 1 and 2 teams in the league.
Well, the misleading thing is Manchester from 2-point range, and that shots inside the arc are shooting 29%. I think it's a credit to Sheffield's defense, though. Sheffield do a better job of anybody in this country of stripping the basketball when you go into the paint, and we've seen them strip the ball an awful lot from the Giants already in the first half of this game.
St. Kitts had it not loose. Holly comes up with it. Holly under pressure. Gets his own rebound. It comes all the way out to the foul line. Dorsey inside, strong for 2.
Tony Dorsey, too strong down on the block for the Sheffield guards to contain him.
Myers all twine for 3. And the Sharks lead by 7.
Well, Terrell said after the National Cup final, which he didn't shoot the ball particularly well on that day and was the MVP, but he knows he's going to get a lot of shots because he's got a green light from Coach Finch.
St. Kitts to reply, yes! And the Manchester Giants seem to knock one back whenever the Sharks hit one.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a 3-point shootout. A lot of great shooters on both ends of the court, and they certainly are not afraid to shoot the 3 today.
9 3-pointers between the 2 sides thus far. 5 for Manchester, 4 for Sheffield. Myers looking for the 5th. Yes! Count it!
Make it 5 for the Sharks and 5 for the Giants. And Terrell Myers, you can't give him that kind of room. Kevin St. Kitts playing back off of him. You're better to force Terrell to drive. You give him that kind of room, you're going to pay.
Let's see if the Giants look to reply with the 3-pointer here. No, they're going inside to Dorsey. Dorsey strong again to the basket.
Today's game, we're going to have to watch it closely as we go through this. This is not only a battle for the league championship, it might even be a battle for player of the year. I think John White and Terrell Myers head-to-head today, 2 of the probably front-running candidates, and I think whoever wins this game today will probably get the nod.
Myers lofts it off his own foot. Here comes John White out on the break. White going up, block! by Todd Cawthorn. He told him about it too, but a foul was called.
Well, I think Todd Cawthorn said he got all ball. We see if you read his lips here, Cawthorn says all ball. But again, John White knows how to draw fouls. Cawthorn probably was right, but John's going to shoot 2 free throws.
Well, Chris Finch has now called a timeout. Let's go down and take a listen.
Hey, that's all right. Here we go. Listen. Why don't we try fronting him? Because if we're in the zone and we front him, we got the man there. Work harder to front him. Okay? Or force him out there. All right, you see, one of the reasons we can't deny is they bring a guard out here. We're denying White. They just pop the guard right here. You know what I mean? Okay. Huh? Listen, and down there, okay, you guys are both out, but you're standing there looking at each other in that area. Okay, what offense are we in? 4 out or open? Okay, this time coming down.
There's a huge crowd in the house here tonight, Billy Mims. They've come from Manchester, they've come from Sheffield, and they've come from around the league to see this title decider.
Well, there's no question this is the game of the year so far in British basketball. The 2 league frontrunners head-to-head in probably the most beautiful indoor arena in the English game.
I wouldn't say probably, I'd say definitely.
Well, a few other people would probably like to say they got a nice place too, but this is certainly a palace for basketball.
John White then will go to the foul line with a chance to trim it to just a 3-point ball game.
Smooth as silk, very calm, very focused. John White at his best. While he shoots his second free throw, he's also saying John White is showing tremendous focus to be playing this game today. His wife, back in Atlanta, Georgia, is just about to give birth to their first child.
Conlon up the high pick and roll to Johnson. All sorts of pressure from Tony Holley. And it's a very aggressive defense the Giants are in right here. Conlon with a good step on Dorsey, knocked on some Kitts, knocked loose. Went at him a second time, and this time some Kitts had to foul him.
Good offensive technical foul there. Kevin St. Kitts, too much emotion.
I think what happened there was Conlon actually threw the ball at St. Kitts. Referees didn't see that, and St. Kitts threw it right back at Travis Conlon.
Well, you know the old saying, never retaliate, because the referees never see the first action. They always see the retaliation.
Now the referees are going to have a chat about this. And well done. The referees spotted it, evened it up, tees on both of them, and you can't throw the ball at each other, which is what they were doing there.
I'd like to see a replay. Wonder if we've got that captured. Going to be a good example, see what happened on that. Because I saw Conlon go up and get a good foul. Here we go. Let's see. Here's the Sky Sports cameras at their best. Conlon misses the first shot, gets it back. Now he's going to turn and take the ball to St. Kitts. Now he gets fouled. Oh, he flipped it at him. I mean, I don't know if that's a technical
foul.
foul.
Unfortunate then for Travis Conlon.
That's not flagrant.
But one coming right back there.
And that's almost a joking situation. It says, hey, I got to the bucket, you fouled me. I think very unfortunate technical foul there on Travis Conlon. There's a lot more bantering and a lot more, taunting that takes place in a game than what we just saw there. It's going to cost 2 free throws for the Sharks.
In defense of the official, as Travis Conlon goes to the line for that one, when I first saw it, I thought Conlon threw the ball at St. Kitts, and St. Kitts just threw it back as retaliation. But on that replay, it looked, as you said, like just a playful little flick as Conlon makes them both.
He was so quick at teeing Kevin St. Kitts that I didn't think he saw anything that initiated it, because it was a very physical tee on St. Kitts. I thought Nick Nurse might have talked him into seeing the first pass.
Dorsey off the feed from St. Kitts, in and out. Conlon again with the rebound. He's done a great job going after the glass so far tonight. He has, 7 rebounds. Myers pulls up for 3, short. Scantlebury going after it, not loose by Dorsey. Payne and Windle falling for it, and somehow they both missed it. White came up with it. Baker is fouled by Terrell Myers.
Big, big, big foul there again. There's a foul on Terrell Myers. That's his first personal foul. But now, as we talked about the big three, all of the Sharks' big three have at least 1 or 2 fouls on them.
Ronnie Baker will go to the line. Makiba Perry is ready to check into the game, but he'll have to wait because he wants to come in for Ronnie Baker.
Speaking about foul trouble, though, the Manchester Giants, John White is on 2 fouls. We've got several Giants players. As I take a look up, Tony Holly's on 1. Ronnie Baker's already on 2 personal fouls. So the Giants are a little bit of foul trouble early in the game themselves as well.
Baker makes the second, so that'll get him a trip to the bench. And there's a big fans in the house of Ronnie Baker as Makiba Perry checks in.
It's hard to be a basketball player, a basketball fan, living in England and not be a fan of Ronnie Baker.
Stansbury looking for Myers coming round, but great defense from John White. There was an offensive foul on Richard Wendell, illegal screen.
And what has happened there is John White has taken the personal challenge to guard Terrell Myers. I don't know if you'll see it in the play here. No, you can't see it. It took place out. What Richard Wendell was trying to backpick John White to get Terrell Myers open. John White is just pounding Terrell Myers. And we'll see if that has any effect on John's offensive game, because he's taken the personal challenge to try and shut down Terrell Myers.
Polly from the foul line off right. And again, Chris Finch telling his team, let's get into a set offense. We're not in a great hurry. Let's do what we've done all season.
Well, you know, the first quarter, as I said, was up and down, and there was nothing in it, 17-all. The second quarter has been more the pace of the Sharks, and it's also been the Sharks who've led the entire second quarter.
Conlon looking to go past Holly. Does, keeps going all the way. Fires long, rebound, Wendell gets it to Payne. Payne short, air ball. Again, Wendell trying to save it, but he just ran out of court.
Bad decisions there, a couple of bad decisions. Conlon almost gets called for an offensive foul driving the baseline. Wendell rebounds, gives it to Payne. Payne takes a quick shot. The Sharks could easily have kicked the ball back out. They had a new 30 seconds with the offensive rebound. Run another play, get yourself organized, and get the shot you really want. Payne not only missed the shot, but it was so quick, I don't think any of his teammates realized he was shooting it. Therefore, they weren't in position for the offensive rebound.
There's the rebounding statistics. There's been an awful lot of rebounds, but it's not quite been the high shooting percentages that you would expect with these two teams, Will.
Well, in Sheffield, you know, Manchester Giants, one of the league's best rebounding teams, but so far the rebounding has been all Sheffield Sharks.
Swain to Dorsey. Dorsey stumbling, gets it to St. Kitts. White under pressure for 3 off the backboard and kicked all the way out. Great play from St. Kitts to tip it to White.
Kevin St. Kitts, a veteran British basketball player.
St. Kitts getting inside to Dorsey to the flick. Falling off balance, he flipped it in for 2. And it's a 1-point ball game with 37 seconds left to play. We got a timeout call by Chris Finch of the Sheffield Sharks. Let's go down and take a listen.
Hey, we're all right. We're all right. Okay, hey, let's come down. Let's run special. Okay, but let's look for the other things out here. If we don't have the obvious penetration or the kick to the corner guy and the guy back, all right, Pete, you go in here and duck your man in hard. Oh, no, Bam, you're in. Okay, Pete, you're on the wing out here, all right? No, wait, you're out. Mike, okay? Terrell, this is you, okay? Mike, you're in this wing. Duck your man in, all right, if we get it coming back this way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to double. Right. Maybe if he's stroking, take a step in, duck in, corner. All right, let's go.
Well, the Sheffield Sharks have led by as many as 7 in this period. They've led all the way through, but that last score has made it a 1-point second quarter. It was level in the first, so it's a 1-point ball game, Billy Mims.
Well, I think to beat the Manchester Giants on this floor, you got to do 2 things. One, you've got to cut down on their three-point accuracy because they got guys that make a lot of them, especially John White. And secondly, keep off the free throw line. I think the Giants have gotten back in it in the second quarter at the free throw line and hitting some big threes.
7.5-second differential between shot and game clock. Sheffield are going to tick down as much as they can of the shot clock in the bottom right-hand corner there. Payne, now they've got to shoot it, and it's knocked loose by St. Kitts. Shot clock is holding on to. Nick Nurse asked for a timeout. Now he's waving it. Please, I don't want the timeout. But did he wave it off in time? He must have waved it in time. 2 seconds to shoot. Lobbed into Windle to the hook. Is long, rebound Tony Holley. And the Giants have got 5 seconds to get a shot off. Dorsey doesn't see it. Now he's off and running. Dorsey on the buzzer from deep. Ooh, not quite. The Sheffield Sharks have a tremendous start to this second quarter, but the Manchester Giants have trimmed it back to 1.
And we have a great second half in store for you. The Giants trail by 138-39, but it can only get better from here. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this break.
This morning's detection of an unidentified radio source in deep space can neither be confirmed nor denied.
Whatever it is, it ain't local. Different White House. Want to take a ride? You're willing to die for it.
I think it's worth a human life.
Contact, a date Saturday Sky premiere. The biggest new films every Saturday night, guaranteed.
The Mercedes A-Class. Big car quality in a small car.
Top breeder Jackie Lorimer and Craft Supreme Champion JJ recommend it.
Visit Homebase now and you'll find more money-saving offers than they've ever had before. Ever!
Homebase have 40 different lawnmowers with up to 25% off.
More savings than ever.
Neil.
Over 400 Homebase brand paints reduced by up to 25%.
More savings than ever.
And all bathroom suites have up to 20% off.
Ever.
Neil?
Ever.
With more savings than ever, you're better off at Homebase.
Another big day of live sport coming up for you on Easter Sunday. At 2 o'clock is Rugby Union, the Tetley's Bitter Cup semifinal between Walsh and Gloucester. At 3, there's live cricket, continued coverage of the 4th test between the West Indies and Australia. And at 5:30, there's live football from Scotland as St. Johnstone take on the Rangers. We're at the half, and I'm here with Billy Mims. This season, the Sheffield Sharks have not lost back-to-back league games. It was crucial for them. I thought that they maintained the lead going into halftime, especially the job they did in the first half.
Well, no question about it. I think the Sharks built leads. The Giants were always fighting from behind. And on your home floor, you don't like to dig yourself a hole and keep fighting back.
When you look at the offenses and defenses, Sheffield Sharks seem to be doing a pretty good job of changing defense. Has that affected Manchester?
Well, not a whole lot, I don't think. I think Manchester's had some bad shot selection, and they haven't done the job on the offensive glass getting the second shots that they need. The Sharks are running a zone on out-of-bounds plays, but the rest of the time they've pretty much gone to man-to-man, and the Giants have read it well. They just made a few bad decisions.
Sheffield does a good job of moving the basketball, which we talked before, but they also do a good job of penetrating. Terrell Myers comes up with a nice pass out to Michael Payne.
No question about it. I mean, when you take a look at what the Sharks do, and here's a good play here. We see, here's Terrell. He's going by John White, puts the ball on the floor. Terrell is such a good offensive player. He drew all the Giants' attention, kicks it to Michael Payne, and as I said, they got a lot of guys that can shoot behind that arc.
You know, in the zone, where do you beat the Sheffield zone defense?
I think it's two places that it's vulnerable. One is it's vulnerable in the middle of the zone, and you take a look here, you're going to see the ball go into the, or should go into the middle of the zone. If you look, Holly's open and the baseline is open. But where you don't want to throw it, cardinal sin against the zone, is a cross-court pass. Here we see Myers pick it off, Conlon attack, and this is not just a turnover. It's a turnover that resulted in a foul on John White.
And you talked about the zone defense. One of the things that also opens up for them is offensive rebounding for Manchester.
No question about it. I think, you know, they haven't done the job in blocking out. Whenever they go to the zone, it appears that, you know, they just don't put bodies on people. Here we see Kevin St. Kitts, probably the most underrated player the Giants has, but one of the best. Tips it out. He's going to get it back. As we watch the completion of the play, St. Kitts makes a great move. What a feed. What a feed. Middle open against the zone. Dorsey turns, up and under, scores. Kevin St. Kitts makes the play. The offensive rebound, the penetration, the feed in the middle to Dorsey.
Okay, field goal percentages. I mean, nothing in on both teams, 34%. We don't have one of the best shooting games of all time, but it's a competitive basketball game.
Well, I tell you, the irony of the stats, Kevin, is the three-point shooting has been relatively good, but they're not making the two-point shots. They're missing the easy shots.
You have 20 offensive rebounds in total. Both teams going to the boards, but surprisingly, Sheffield winning the battle.
Manchester's offensive rebounds came late. And as I said, that's one of the reasons I think they got back into the game in the second quarter. But the Sharks owned the offensive glass early in the game to build leads.
And as we look at the odometer, Manchester started, Sheffield second quarter on, it's been all Shark basketball.
Well, if you're Nick Nurse and you're looking at that, you don't like it because the Giants in the second quarter are on a flat line to death.
Okay, so the Wembley Finals are just around the corner, and we would like to have you as our special guest. But first, we have to enter our competition. And here's Suzanne with the details.
It's competition time and you have the chance to win a fantastic prize. The winner will receive one family ticket to the championship finals on May the 1st and 2nd. They will also receive overnight accommodation and have VIP access on both days. There is also runner-up prizes of a pair of tickets to see the finals. All you have to do is answer this question. Who were the losing semi-finalists in last year's Budweiser Championships at Wembley? Was it A, Sheffield Sharks and Manchester Giants, B, London Towers and Sheffield Sharks, or C, Manchester Giants and London Towers? If you think you know the correct answer, send it on a postcard with your name and telephone number to the basketball competition, Sky Sports, Grant Way, Isleworth, Middlesex, TW7 5QD. And remember, the closing date is April the 20th.
It hasn't been the highest scoring game we've seen this season. We have the two leading scoring teams in the league going at it. We'll be back after the break. Join us. It should be an exciting second half.
Easter, the end of Lent. And having given up winning, Aston Villa must now return to their early season form, hoping for a very good Friday against West Ham, who after their recent triumphs are resurrected. It's then an FA Cup semi-final rehearsal as Worthington Cup winners Tottenham and a rejuvenated Newcastle look to pass over one another. A Premiership Easter tonight and Monday on Sky Sports 1.
Frank Doberman is angry. So's his brother. And the effect is devastating. And too expensive to only show once. They thought it was impossible.
I don't believe the size of that.
Big O's, a hula hoop like no other. Introducing Debbie Wellard.
Beef and mustard flavor.
They're loud. They're obnoxious. They are Big O's.
Cordula roller shutters are the sophisticated answer to your security and insulation problems, whether fully automatic, electric motor or manually operated. Phone 0800 018 3399 for your free Cordula brochure now. Cordula remote control garage doors are the ultimate answer if you're leaving or returning to your home. They also provide excellent security. All Cordula products are designed with both reliability and affordability in mind. Phone 0800 018 3399 for your free Cordula brochure now. That's 0800 018 3399.
New Homebase Value Basics, essential products at unbeatable prices. Guaranteed.
Now you've got no excuses, Neil.
With Value Basics, you're better off at Homebase than ever before.
Itchy, flaky scalp. T-Gel Anti-Dandruff clears even the most stubborn dandruff. T-Gel Anti-Dandruff Shampoo from Neutrogena.
Our busy weekend of live sports continues on Bank Holiday Monday. There's live football at midday, Grimsby against Norwich. At 12:30, there's live Super League Hall versus Sheffield. And at 2 o'clock, there's live snooker, day one of the British Open. Our live coverage of the fourth test between the West Indies and Australia continues at 3. And at 7, there's live Premiership football from St. James Park as Newcastle take on Tottenham. Let's get back to our commentators. It's Billy Mims and Daniel Routledge.
Thank you very much. Now, the top of the game, Billy, you said Manchester by 3. There's a point in it in favor of Sheffield. Are you sticking with Manchester by 3?
Hey, basketball games are 40 minutes long, and when the Sharks and Giants get together, sometimes they tend to be a bit longer. So I think we've got a lot of basketball left, and I'll still stick with the home side and the experience they have at winning championships.
In regulation or
yeah, because we're going to try to keep the Sky Sports time schedule today, so both coaches have been instructed no overtime.
We will wait and see. As the Sharks get the first offense here of the second half, they lead by 1. Time ticking down on the offense for them.
And notice how Terrell Myers puts it on the floor, gets under control,
and gets the roll.
You see, he got John White leading there. Terrell can shake people. He goes at people with a lot of quickness, gets you leaning to stop the drive. He floats back and makes the jump shot.
Dorsey fakes the 3, steps in, finds White penetrating through the middle. White to the finger roll, and a great pass and finish from Dorsey to White.
John White goes to the basket and has such a soft shot and such great body control. He finishes most of them.
Is this going to just be a one-on-one battle at the end, White against Myers?
Well, we said they're 2 Player of the Year candidates here, and I think they not only want to be Player of the Year, they want to see their teams get to the promised land in the Budweiser League.
Johnson going up, yes, with a one-handed slam underneath.
Great baseline move there by Will Johnson, and that's the only place that you really got to make sure Will can't hurt you. The baseline, the dunks, the offensive rebounds.
Foul called there on Pete Scantlebury. Grabbing hold of Makiba Perry as the pass came in. Here's another look at it.
You're going to make a quick substitute. Scants is holding his side. As Scants goes off the court, I'm wondering, is he okay? If they substitute for him in less than 2 minutes, minute and a half, and he was holding his left ribs as he went off the court. See him there pulling the shirt up, and they're going to put some ice on it. I think Scantlebury might be having a little bit of a problem there with his left rib cage, lower left ribs.
You wonder whether he picked up the foul just to get himself out of the game because he was suffering there as Dorsey goes to the hole.
And it's still back to a 1-point ball game. And of the Manchester Giants so far, Tony Holly's been a bit quiet. John hasn't been his usual self yet, but Dorsey certainly has stepped up in the early going for the Giants.
Myers wide open is Payne. Yes, Michael Payne for 3. The quick outlet by the Giants with the Dorsey, 1-on-5, and he has to slow it down.
And that's why the passing of the Sharks is so essential to their success. When you got a lot of standstill, spot-up shooters, you have to move the basketball to get those guys open. They did a tremendous job. 4 people touched the ball before Payne knocked down that 3.
Dorsey going baseline, but without the ball, bounced it off his own foot.
Good job defensively that time, I thought, by the Sharks. A couple of guys trying to cut Tony off, and he didn't have a move to the basket and turned it over.
17 turnovers in the game here. Not 2 teams that turn the ball over too much, but when so much is on the line, you tend to find a few more errors checking into the game. As Myers goes to the hole, he's blocked. Myers trying to find Johnson. Holly said it didn't come off me, it came off Will Johnson, but the referee said otherwise. Nick Nurse is not happy with that call either. Let's have a look.
Ooh, second time tonight that Will Johnson has knocked the ball out of bounds, and the Sharks have gotten it back. Ronnie Baker saw the first one. I guess Nick Nurse saw this one.
Nick Nurse very unhappy with that call there. It's Cawthorn from deep.
And you see, that's what happens. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, officials do play a big part in games. They missed the call there. The missed call resulted in a 3-pointer by the Sharks and a 6-point Sheffield lead.
Perry looking to go to work on Johnson with the spin off the glass and converts.
Makiba Perry only his second field goal of the game, but a big one down low. Nice turnaround, and that's where Makiba can score from. The year he played for me, whenever he got the ball down on the blocks, he was very successful in turning and hitting that little short bank shot.
Only 3 rebounds so far from Makiba Perry. It's a quiet night on the rebounding front for him.
Well, overall,
he does average double figures.
Overall, he's third in the league behind Rico Alderson and my own Tim Moore. So certainly one of the premier rebounders.
Oh, great block by Makiba Perry as Mike Payne went up for the slam. Dorsey's fouled by Terrell Myers.
Speaking of Mac, Big Mac as they like to call him, being one of the premier rebounders in the game, you also saw he's one of the league's best shot blockers there with a tremendous pin of the ball on the glass, and the Giants coming down looking for a score.
Baker running past Myers to Holly in the corner. Payne with the ball.
And Tony Holly's still a bit quiet, but if you remember in the pregame,
Cawthorn off and running his foul. Count it! What a tough play by Todd Cawthorn.
There's the blue-collar Sheffield leader. He plays in a steel town, and he plays with steel sometimes. Todd Cawthorn, strong move to the basket, draws the foul, and the and one. I was about to say about Makiba Perry being, Tony Holly being still a bit quiet when he missed that last shot. That's the second foul on Tony, and Tony only has 3 points in the game so far. But Tony said in the pregame piece that if it comes down to the last shot, he'll want the ball. And Sky Sports cameras were here when the Giants beat the Leopards on a last-second Tony Holly shot.
Sharks fans are the happier at the minute. Their side leading by 7 here in the title decider with 16 minutes to go in regulation at least. Holly double team, skip pass round to Baker. Baker to White in the corner for 3. John White!
Great assist by Ronnie Baker. Baker was open, could have taken the shot, but he spotted John White out the corner of his eye, and John makes the count.
It just seems as there's a foul called. Fouls on Dorsey.
Second personal foul on Tony Dorsey. So again, now if you look at the 4 of the 5 Giants on the floor, all 2 personal fouls. So as this thing gets tight down the stretch, fouls could be a problem for the Giants. Right now they've got a few more guys, getting towards that second foul.
Here's an update on Scantlebury. If you look there, he's still got ice on his ribs there. He is struggling at the minute.
Hey,
I'm sure he'll be back, though.
Hey, Dan, after you've played 500 games in this league, you're bound to have a few bumps and bruises.
Nice move by Myers. Didn't quite have enough juice on the shot. And White saves it as gets, and it was knocked away by Travis Conlon.
I was just saying, Scants has played 500 games, and, this is a rough league. I mean, you talk about basketball being a non-contact sport. Anybody who believes that is probably still watching too much netball.
Plus, he's the highest cap player for England as well, 127, I believe it is.
With those many performances, he's lucky to still have any ribs.
Cawthorn lines up the 3. It's way off the mark. Johnson trying to save it, but he knew if he saved it, it'd probably break his ankles on the advertising.
I believe Tony Dorsey got a piece of that shot as Cawthorn spotted up to release that 3-point attempt. Dorsey came flying out at him, and I think he got a pretty good piece of the shot there.
There's a chance to have a look there, Billy. If you look round.
Johnson's going to kick it out. Let's see the kick. Here comes Dorsey. No, didn't. Oh, that's just an ugly shot.
Dorsey at the other end. It's a pretty looking shot.
And
it's a 2-point game.
I was trying to give Todd Cawthorn a little bit more credit than that ugly air ball, but unfortunately, the Sky camera proved me wrong.
Myers hooked the side of the board, but Payne was there to pick it up. 2 really bad shots in a row by the Sharks.
Hey, that's 2 of the ugliest shots we've seen tonight. They still were up 4 points because Mike Payne was in the right place at the right time.
St. Kitts under pressure from Payne, gets it into the low post. Cutting through the middle is White, and he's fouled by either Conlon or Myers as he went through. It was on Travis Conlon. It's his 3rd personal foul.
Fouls are starting to mount up on both teams now. That's 3 on Conlon. They're going to give Terrell Myers a blow here.
Couple of fouls on Myers, Cawthorn and Johnson. 3 on Windle and Conlon. Dorsey, under pressure, has to give to Baker. Now it's Perry. Back out to Baker, fakes the 3, takes the 2, off the glass. Sweet play by Ronnie Baker.
Beautiful move there. Head fake, gets the defender up, got the defender by him. Nice bank shot, beautiful 2 points.
At the other end, there's a foul called. An offensive foul, I believe it is, on Todd Cawthorn.
That's his 3rd personal foul.
He'll go to the bench now, and Richard Windle will replace him. Now the foul's starting to mount up against the Sharks, Billy.
Well, the other thing is that's the 4th team foul against the Sharks. So for the next 4 minutes of this 3rd quarter, the Giants are in the bonus. Every time they're fouled, they'll get 2 free shots.
Baker into the low post, Dorsey to that turnaround, and there's no way of stopping that. And he ties the game at 53.
Vintage turnaround from Tony Dorsey. It took the Sharks 4 minutes to build a 7-point lead. It took the Giants 2 minutes to erase the 7-point lead. A lot of offensive firepower in the house tonight.
Conlon to McKinney for 3. McKinney replies with a 3, and the Sharks are back in front.
And I believe he is still the top 3-point field goal shooter in the Budweiser League, and there he gives us a good reason why.
8 lead changes in the game thus far. A lot of them in the first quarter. Stumbling through the middle is Dorsey. Will it count? No, says the referee.
I have to say this, Dan. This is how impressive Ian McKinney's 3-point shooting has been this year. As we watched, he got fouled on the floor. Extra step, kept going.
Foul number 4 on Travis Conlon.
That could prove to be crucial in the Sheffield chances today. I have to say this.
Here's the foul trouble here.
And we talk about the 4-3-3 for Sheffield. A lot of the Giants on 2. A lot of fouls mounting up. The team, I think, that stays out of foul trouble in the final quarter of this game, and the team that shoots the most free throws will probably win this game.
Dorsey at the line shooting free throws. Way short.
I have to say this about Ian McKinney's 3-point shooting. So impressive this year behind the arc. He's shooting almost 55%. That's better from 3-point range than Makiba Perry shoots from the free throw line.
Dorsey misses them both, and Terrell Myers comes up with the rebound.
Well, to win championships, you got to make free throws. Down the stretch, they're going to have to do a bit better than that.
Windle is blocked by Perry, foul called. And the Sheffield fans getting to their feet on that one. They like that call. Certainly the home fans didn't. Here's another look as Perry goes up for the block.
I think he did get him after the shot. You see, Perry got the ball, but he does a mistake some big men do. Instead of just going up blocking a shot like the great Bill Russell used to do in the NBA, McKeevy swatted it. And as he swatted down with his right hand, he came across the arm of Richard Wendell, picking up the foul.
Wendell then to the foul line. Misses the first. He's a 65% shooter on the season. Travis Conlon down on the bench, sitting next to his coach, Chris Finch. We can't imagine that he'll be back until probably early in the 4th quarter, would you think, Billy?
You see a former Sheffield guard who won the title in Chris Finch, and a newcomer to the throne, a point guard at Sheffield, who's trying to win a title. And yes, I can't see him coming back until they absolutely need him. I think the game will dictate when we see Travis Conlon again. You can sit him on the bench to a certain time in your mind, but, you know, the longer he sits there, the less chance you got to win it.
Manchester's free throws, you say they win championships, they're struggling right here, where Sheffield 80% is a respectable shooting percentage.
Well, I think it's going to be 4th quarter free throws that are going to make the difference tonight. Not the ones we've already missed. Let's see what happens in the 4th quarter.
Sheffield last week really bad from the foul line, 42%, and that's why we're here with this title decider right now. White going up, blocked by Johnson. White again with the boards, clears himself some space and gets the lay-in.
John White just doesn't quit, though. Good offensive rebound, just stays focused, stays with it, gets the big 2.
There he is underneath, just clearing through. Myers coming round off the screen, but he was still double-teamed. Myers spinning through the middle, trying to get it to Johnson. White comes up with it. White throws it to St. Kitts. Away come the Giants with Baker. White wants it in the corner. He gets it. Pulls up for 3. Short. Perry chasing it. could only tip it out of bounds, and John White right in front of his head, punching the ground. He was upset with himself he didn't make that shot.
John's too much of a veteran. He knows they had a 4-on-3 there, and that was not the best shot they could have got. He'd have been better off to attack the basket and try to draw another sharp foul. Instead, he makes a bad decision, misses the shot, but hey, a lot of time left to see John White still become a hero.
Broken up by McKeever. Perry Johnson was quicker than him to get back and retrieve it. Sheffield now look to take a shot as time ticks away. Myers sells the bait. Chris Finch livid on the sidelines. He wanted a call, he didn't get one. Baker running it back and is fouled by Ian McKinney.
And Baker will get 2 free throws, as he said, because the Giants are in the bonus.
Chris Finch very unhappy with that stretch. He thought there was a foul at the other end. There certainly was a foul there on Ian McKinney, and that's foul number 2. And Pete Scantlebury now checking back into the game for the Sheffield Sharks. He's had his ribs iced. He's struggling with it. I think he's only going to play in 2 or 3 minute bursts, but they need him out there.
Well, I think here's his experience and his leadership is something that Chris is trying to look for. And Richard doesn't want to, Richard, his younger brother, Pete, doesn't want to see this title slip away while he's sitting over there. He's got all summer to ice those ribs down as the England assistant coach. In the meantime, he wants to help the Sharks win a championship.
Ronnie Baker misses his second there. Scans getting the rebound. Broken up by Baker, but only as far as McKinney. It's a 1-point ball game. A minute and a half to play in the third. Scantlebury. Shot clock into single figures. McKinney coming around the screen, couldn't get the 3, but got it to Johnson. Stumbled, yes! Oh my, we've seen some spectacular plays tonight. And that's another one.
You know why that shot went in? I have to tell you why that shot went in. All the Sheffield Sharks fans will know Will Johnson is famous for coming out before the game and sitting on the bench with a towel over his head. He's so used to being in the dark, sometimes he can make shots with his eyes closed. You see, he doesn't really need to see the basket to score. He's quite used to being in the dark.
He'll go to the line for the 3-point play.
And this could be an adventure here. Let's see what Will does at the free throw line. Not much better free throw shooter than McKeever Perry.
He makes it, though, and he'll get himself a break. Richard Windle checks back in. It's a 4-point lead for the Sharks.
Big basket there. Huge play. He's got 7 in the game. 3 of them came on that play to open it back up to a 4-point Sharks lead.
Dorsey double-teamed in the post. Is fouled. Replies with a 3-point play of his own.
I said Tony Dorsey is really stepping up. And right now, I believe that's 22 points for Tony Dorsey. And of all the guys, Kevin Cahill and I said at halftime, this has been a very poor shooting game. Dorsey is 10 for 16, 62% on the floor, mostly because he's taking the shots he knows he can make, making great decisions with the basketball. And here he's going to get a chance for another and one.
The one place he's struggled shooting tonight is from the free throw line, though. He's made only 1 in 4 trips. No mistake on that one, and again, we're down to 1 with a minute to go. Myers penetrating to McKinney for 3, yes! Oh. A 3 in the corner, and we're back out to 4.
Mike Defoe tried to get out there. You'll see Mike Defoe run, but again, Terrell Myers through all the Manchester defense, giving Ian McKinney the open look.
Perry strong off the glass for 2.
That's the same place he burned the Sharks before. Gets the ball down on the block, turn around, banks it off the glass. Too close for Mac to miss that one.
All right, Billy, we've got a quarter and some change left. It's a 2-point game. Who's going to win?
Hey, I've gone with the home side all night. I'm going to stay with the home side. They've got 2 former players of the year. They've been booked as favorites all season long. I'm going to stick with the Giants.
Cawthorn for 3. Yes! Todd Cawthorn with the 3. Stolen away, but he ran out of court, Terrell Myers. And there's 5 seconds left. Here's another look at that 3 from Todd Cawthorn. Big shot.
Cawthorn hits a big 3 here, gives them a 5-point lead. But remember, this game is going to go down to the wire. And they had a 7-point lead in the third quarter that it took the Giants 2 minutes to erase. They've got 10 more minutes to do something about this 5-point advantage.
The Budweiser League title is on the line. It's winner takes all. The Giants looking for a final score here. Baker going all the way. 4 minutes to go. And it's the end of the third quarter here. It's been another good quarter thanks to a big 3 at the end there from Todd Cawthorn. The Sharks fans are happy. In the title decider, it's the Giants 61, the Sharks 66. We'll be right back.
Get closer to the cause. You'll find exclusive tracks and pictures, plus a video interview, all on the interactive CD Plus from Pepsi. Just collect 25 ring pulls from promotional packs.
Top breeder Jackie Lorimer and Craft Supreme Champion JJ recommend it.
It's a clash of wills as the London Towers travel across town to battle the Greater London Leopards. A massive crowd is expected for this fierce rivalry, so join us for that one on Sunday at 3 p.m. on Sky Sports 1. Will Sheffield take their second title in 5 years? They're 10 minutes away. It's back to Billy and Daniel.
Well, that's a good point, Kevin, and I'm going to ask you, Billy, will Sheffield take their second title in 5 years? That's what we're here for, and if we look at the match facts, Sheffield are just edging it in the three-point shooting, and that has been a key factor here in the third quarter.
Well, I think Manchester's inability at the free throw line so far in this game, 58%, has put a severe dent into their title hopes. Also, as we get ready to jump it up here, we see Tony Holly, center court, only on 3 points through 3 quarters. If the big Tony Holly steps up in the fourth, the Giants can make up this deficit.
He has got 9 points, though. He hasn't quite got the points and leads all rebounders. White had it knocked loose. McKinney chasing after it, and he's come back to Terrell Myers. Remember, this is for the title. It's not just a league game. Whoever wins the title. Myers for 3, and the Sharks lead by 8.
The Sharks are up 8, and they are confident right now. Their fans are behind them. Myers, look how deep. That was an NBA three-point shot by Myers.
Dorsey to reply, no. There's a rebound for Tony Holly. Holly trying to get some points on the board, goes at it twice, and gets fouled. Sheffield leading by 8, the biggest lead of the afternoon here, and Tony Holly's got a chance to do something about it here as he gets fouled.
Now, you better be leading the Giants by 20 with about 2 to go before you count them out. They have too much offensive firepower, too much heart, too much experience. This thing is going to go to the wire one way or the other.
Nick Nurse trying to bring to Manchester their first league title in basketball league history. Brought them their first trophy earlier this season, but can he bring the lead? Holly short on the first, and you talk about free throws. Manchester are struggling.
They are now, I believe that makes them, what is that, 11 for 20. Barely over 50% at the free throw line. And if you don't make free throws, you don't deserve to win championships.
Holly rattles on the second, and here's confirmation of what Billy said. 12 for 21 for 57%.
That's 9 points that they've blown at the line, and they only trail by 7.
Johnson makes it a 9-point game, the biggest lead thus far. Sheffield once again, for the second week in a row, have a hand on the title. Holly, pump fake, great play from Tony Holly.
Nice pass from Tony Dorsey to set the play up there. Dorsey drew the defense, kicked it to Holly. Holly finished. 6 points to Tony. Now 3 of them here in the fourth quarter.
At the other end, Terrell Myers lost it out of bounds, and back come the Manchester Giants looking to trim it again. Dorsey out to White. White for 3 under pressure. Doesn't get the roll. Cawthorn fighting hard for it.
The one thing the Giants can't afford to do, the Sharks are in foul trouble. The Giants got to keep going to the basket, keep getting fouls, do a workman's game. If they start taking too many threes too quickly and rushing those threes, they're in trouble.
Myers going to the hole. Ooh, it didn't quite go. We've had so many of them go. You expected that one to do, but it didn't. And John White commits a foul. Here's another look, Billy.
I believe this is John White's third. He's holding him the whole way to the basket. I mean, this is a solid foul on Terrell Myers. But at this point, you see, Terrell Myers, if he's going to be a true Player of the Year candidate, he's got to step up and show the entire country. One-on-one against John White, a former Player of the Year, on center stage today for the league championship in the fourth quarter. Terrell Myers can make it happen.
After he ties his shoelaces up, of course. Now he goes to the line. No, misses the first free throw.
Well, now, I think some of the Sky Sports crew were at Chester the other night when the Sharks set up this title game today. In the fourth quarter, I'm told, in the last couple of minutes, I'm told the Sharks went 1 for 7 at the free throw line. And if they'd have made free throws against Chester, this game would not be a championship decider today. So we'll see how they do at the line in the final stages of today's game.
Holly with the quick flip pass to Perry. Perry going out, lays it in.
Kevin and I talked about get the ball into the middle of that defense. They got it to Holly in the middle, dumped it baseline for the score.
Cawthorn for three again. Todd Cawthorn pulls it out to a 9-point Sheffield lead.
The Giants are walking up the floor right now. 4 of the 5. Ronnie Baker, the only guy that ran down the floor. Giants, their heads hanging a bit. 9 points down, looking a bit tired.
Inside again to Perry, he loses it. Dorsey gets it though. Dorsey under pressure, spectacular shot from Tony Dorsey.
He certainly has come to win a championship today. That's 11 for 18, 61%, 25 points. Vintage Tony Dorsey.
Everything going in for him. That was a real tough shot. There's 7 minutes and 29 seconds left. The Giants trail by 7 in the Budweiser League title decider. Nick Nurse has called a timeout. Let's take a listen.
Judges defensively.
So 158 Adam here, just give him a different look. They got Myers, Payne, and Cawthorn. And there's 3 of them. And McKinney as well. Hey, come on. Hey.
Plenty of chat there from Tony Holly. He's an inspirational leader for the Manchester Giants. He's just trying to spark some life into his team. But right here, they're struggling, aren't they? Well, I mean, he's struggled a bit today, too. He's trying to spark some life into his team. But Tony's 2 for 9 shooting the basketball today. He's got 11 rebounds, but those rebounds haven't resulted in points for the Giants. And it's his offensive firepower that's lacked today, which has put a lot of pressure on Dorsey and White, the other Giants, to step up. And they just haven't scored enough points to this point in the game. Holly looking for his second league title. He won one with Peter Scantlebury of the Sharks when they were both at Thames Valley. Cawthorn going hard to the hole had it knocked away, and we wondered how long it would be. And now is the moment where Travis Conlon re-enters the game.
Well, I think it'd be a great motivation now for the Giants if they could get Conlon to commit a foul and foul out. It would be sort of an emotional uplift, saying, well, we got one thing accomplished. But if Conlon's able to play this final 7 minutes without fouling out, then I think the advantage certainly goes to the Sharks.
Shot clock holding on 8 as Conlon inbounds to Cawthorn. Cawthorn under great pressure for 3. It almost went, and Baker got the rebound. Baker off and running. Baker all the way penetrating. Perry too strong with the tip. And Sheffield get the rebound through Ian McKinney and are in no hurry here. They're 6 minutes and 45 seconds from the title.
Not like Ronnie Baker to miss that. Great speed, full court. Went to the basket hard, just couldn't come away with the layup.
Payne for 3. Michael Payne hits a 3.
And I got
a 10-point lead for the Sheffield job.
I got to give Tony Dorsey an assist on this one because he got a piece of something. Whether he got Payne, whether he got the ball, Tony got something, but Payne still knocked it down.
Holly, round to Baker. Baker, ooh, Johnson knocked it away.
You have to say this, we talked a lot about Travis Conlon being in foul trouble going to the bench, but 9 of this 10-point lead was built while Conlon was on the bench. So the Sharks have shown their depth today, shown their chemistry, and show how well they play together as a unit.
Dorsey double team, finds Baker. White steps around Conlon, tough shot. John White replies with a 3.
Well, it wasn't too long ago that the Leopards were playing the Giants here. We led for 3 quarters, but in the 4th quarter, John White hit 3 consecutive threes to set up Tony Holly's game winner.
Johnson, nothing but twine, and Holly was slow to his feet.
5:47 left to play. I wouldn't be surprised to watch John White try and take over.
Here he comes round the screen. Will they look for him? They get it to him. White for 3 again. No, it doesn't go, but Holly's there to pick up the pieces and put it back.
Big offensive rebound. We talked about he's only 3 for 10 shooting, 30% from the field, but he is one of the best rebounders in the game. This time, the rebound equals points.
There was a foul called on Ian McKinney, and that's his 3rd. He'll go to the line with go to the bench, with Terrell Myers coming back in. Now, that double overtime game that we've mentioned 2 weeks ago in Sheffield, I was there. Sheffield looked to have won the game in the 2nd period of overtime before John White hit some big threes. Oh, count it for Tony Holly underneath. The Giants are coming back again.
Well, we said that of the big 3 for the first 3 quarters, the quiet one was Tony Holly. In this 4th quarter, he's shown some leadership on the bench. Now he's rebounding, he's scoring. Now all 3 of the big 3 for the Giants are in double figures. Tony has a chance to go to 11 with this free throw.
The Giants fans in the house quietening down now as Tony Holly goes to the foul line, praying that he makes it. 5 minutes and 12 seconds left. It's a 5-point game in the title decider. Oh, it spins out. And there's a big ooh around the MBN Arena.
12 for 22, 55% at the free throw line today. Nick Nurse is not going to like those numbers.
Wendell to Payne. And there's a foul called. Ronnie Baker, was it?
Kevin St. Kitts, I believe, off the ball.
Can't see it on this replay. It was on the other side of the floor, I think.
Kevin Perry comes back for the Giants. Ronnie Baker's going to go out and get a little blow here, but believe me, as tough as Ronnie is and with the championship spirit he has, this will probably be his last breather, and I think he'll be right back in the game.
Here's the foul trouble. Johnson Conlon on 4 and a whole host of players on 3 fouls as we tick down the final 5 minutes here. Cawthorn did well to hang on to it. Wendell thought about the 3, now drives. Cawthorn in the corner, in and out. John White rises highest, but Myers picked his pocket, only could knock it out of bounds.
And as I said, horn sounds, but Kevin Perry goes off the court. Ronnie Baker's back. What Nick Nurse is doing now, playing a little offensive-defensive substitution. When he had a chance to get Mack out on defense, he put McKeeve on D. He's brought Baker back out for the offense.
Chris Finch tried to reply, but just couldn't get Scantry there in time. St. Kitts for 3 is long. Rebound once again from Tony Holly. Holly had it knocked away, diving to the floor, saves it to Baker, but Baker runs out of room.
I think that's probably a good turnover there for the Giants because I think the officials might have missed one there. Tony Holly got the rebound, but he did a good job shoving Todd Cawthorn down to get the rebound. Got it back, couldn't handle it, fell down. The Giants lost it out of bounds. Now you see again what we have here. The Giants, this should be a substitution, but I don't think Nick's recognized it here. They're trying to get their best defensive team on the floor and their best offensive. Right now, the Giants have the 5 best offensive players they have on the floor.
11,143 in the house enjoying this Budweiser League title decider right here. With 4 minutes to go, it could still go either way, but it's the Sharks who just are edging it at the moment. Myers trying to get it inside with time ticking down on the offense. Who that touch last and kicks. And Sheffield will get it back.
Daniel, great testament, this crowd, for British basketball and certainly for the job the Manchester Giants do. And all, you got to credit the thousands of Sheffield Sharks followers that have come in here today as well as we watch the replay go out of bounds here.
3 seconds on the shot clock as it's inbound. It's broken up by John White. So they'll get it from the side.
And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but the 11,000 plus, the second largest crowd to ever watch a basketball game in the UK. I say that with a bit of confidence because a few years ago we inaugurated this building against the Giants with 12,500.
Dorsey gets it to Baker, who did well to keep it in bounds. Holly through the middle, scores. Tony Holly makes it a one-shot game with less than 4 to play.
Has the big Tony Holly come to life? Take a look here now, 5 for 12. His shooting has jumped up incredibly in this fourth quarter. He's scoring points and he's leading this team.
Defense is the cry, but the foul is the call. Tony Holly is called for it. It'll be a sideline ball as Mike Payne checks in for Ian McKinney and Makiba Perry for Ronnie Baker.
Now here comes the Manchester defensive lineup. Baker will stand there with Coach Nurse and wait for an opportunity. Oh, there's ice on the floor. Didn't see it. Something down on the floor got thrown down at the free throw line. Now they've picked it up.
Yeah, referee Will Jones has spotted it.
Saw it come flying from somewhere in the crowd there. I'm not quite sure what it is. And that's a shame. You really don't want anything. You know, these players are playing at such a high pace. The court is a small place. You just don't want anything ever thrown on the floor in a basketball game. This game is not played on grass. This game is played on hardwood. And believe me, if these players hit something and slip, it hurts.
Myers penetrating. Myers all the way. Dishes to Johnson. Johnson lost it. Got it back. Rebound. Kevinson kicks. And the Giants with a chance to possibly tie.
Again, look for John White. Here he comes to the corner. Kevin.
St. Kitts feeds to Holly underneath.
No.
1-point ball game.
I said look for John White. I'm wrong. The fourth quarter belongs to Tony Holly. He is taking over single-handedly in the fourth quarter, and he is making the Giants come back in this fight for the title.
Manchester Giants 8 without reply. It's forced the home fans to crank up the volume on the defensive cry. And Sheffield, foul called on John White as Conlon drives to the basket, and that is foul number 4.
Well, we talk about Conlon's foul trouble, but now with John White on 4 fouls, and as aggressive a player as John is defensively, if I'm Chris Finch, I'd try to isolate John and go at him. As John tries to get the crowd behind him here, he's igniting the crowd, saying, let's make some noise.
Conlon, who missed 3 crucial free throws last week to make this game the title decider, misses a big one here with 2:47 to go.
As we said, Travis Conlon, not an excellent free throw shooter for a guard, and he's missed some big free throws in big games.
He makes the second, though, and it ticks it up to a 2-point Sheffield lead. Billy, regulation or overtime?
I still say regulation. I think that these guys are far too up for this than to go to overtime.
Dorsey to tie it. No. Payne with the rebound. And Conlon says, we'll just take care of the ball.
I think it's about tempo now, Dan. I think Sheffield really got to try to take some time.
Myers along the baseline is fouled by, I believe, Makiba Perry. It is Makiba Perry, and that is foul number 4 on him.
Now let's also talk about fouls and free throws having a chance to decide the game. Because right now, every time for the last 2:21 of this game, 2:22 left, that the Giants foul the Sharks, they're going to shoot 2 free throws. On the other end of the floor, the Sharks have only committed 3 team fouls, so the Giants have still got to get a couple fouls before they get free throws.
The foul trouble both teams with a couple of players on 4 as Myers goes to the line. trying to put him off, and the whole of Sheffield over there jumping to their feet as he makes the shot. 18 points for Terrell today, and this could put him in this one.
One up in his head-to-head battle as John White is also on 18. Now Terrell on 19.
The Sharks lead by 4 as we approach the final 2 minutes in the game that will decide the destiny of the league title. Dorsey going inside against Scantlebury. Tough play. TD.
That is a championship play in a championship game from a former Budweiser League MVP.
Myers again going along the baseline. Johnson loses it, gets it back, but he ran out of court. It bounced on the line, and what a big turnover by the Sheffield Sharks.
And I don't know if the folks at home can hear this, but I tell you, this place, the arena in Manchester, is getting loud right now. Crowd coming to their feet to support the Giants.
Giants with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Here's John White. Would you go for a 2 or a 3, Billy, right here?
I think you take whatever you can get because you want to tie it or take the lead, doesn't matter.
White faked at the 3, Baker to take the lead! No, it doesn't go, and Johnson pulls down the rebound, and he's fouled by Tony Holley, and I think that was a foul to send him to the foul line.
2 shots.
Because Wilbur Johnson is a poor foul shooter for the Sheffield Sharks. He shoots 65% on the season.
Now, you might think, you know, that God, he's 94 feet. You know, a basketball court in length. Will's about 94 feet away from the basket. He's certainly not going to score. But it's a good foul because it takes no time off. You don't waste any time defending Sheffield's offense, and you put a 4-shooter at the line.
Johnson misses the first.
Well, we talked about them going 1 for 7 at Chester the other night to set up this decider, or they would have already been crowned Budweiser League champions.
Makes the second. It's a 3-point game, 1:26 to go. Ronnie Baker for the Giants as they try to claw it back here and win themselves a league title. John White, the man who's won it for the last 2 years. Round to St. Kitts. Baker into Holley. Holley is fouled on the floor. It's fouled on Will Johnson, and that is his 5th. And final foul, he's out of the ball game, and the Giants fans are on their feet. They're loving that.
Good play there by the Giants, actually attacking the baseline and taking it to Will Johnson. If we get a chance to see the replay, Johnson's got 12 points, but uncharacteristically only 1 rebound tonight. Johnson, probably the Sharks' best rebounder. Tony Holley, we said, who's been the man in the 4th quarter. I don't know about too much of a foul there, but break for the Giants as Will Johnson fouls out with very little contact.
St. Kitts to the finger roll, and with 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the Budweiser League title race, there is only 1 point between the 2 teams. The Giants trail the Sharks. Defense is the cry again from the Manchester fans. Sheffield looking to get the ball to Myers for 3. Doesn't go. White with the rebound. White kicks it long to St. Kitts. St. Kitts is blocked by Myers. Hawthorne has it to Conlon, and Payne comes up with it, and Sheffield are going to try and take it as quickly, as much time off the clock as they can, but they need a score. They have to score. The foul is there. Ronnie Baker commits the foul with 30 seconds to play. Nick Nurse is very angry there because he wanted a foul at the other end.
Well, we know that the last time these 2 teams played, we went to double overtime, and it was a very controversial decision that won it for the Sharks. You'd hate to see it again won on controversy, but I think on the play there that, you know, there was a lot of kids and a lot of his crowd felt that he was fouled, but a great defensive play if it wasn't a foul by Terrell Myers.
Scamps misses the free throw. The veteran of 500 games can't make the first, and the Sheffield fans are in agony there.
With only 30 seconds left now, even if he makes this, the Giants have a great chance to win with a 3.
It's a 2-point game, 30 seconds left. You go 2, you go 3, you go what you can get.
You get what you can get because, you know, you're on your floor. First best shot you can get, take it, knock it down.
It's winner takes all. The title's on the line. It must be one here. There's a foul on the floor. Pete Scantlebury fouls Dorsey.
And if I take a great play by Tony Dorsey there, Daniel, because, you know, he just said, I'm over here, I'm isolated one-on-one. I'm going to put it on the line. Remember, the Manchester Giants have shot more free throws this year than any team in the Budweiser League. If Tony Dorsey goes hard in the basket, the likelihood is he'll get fouled. Now he's got to make them.
Well, there's the old trick of the trade is to ice the shooter. When it's a big game like this, you make him think about them 2 free throws that he's got to make. I think that's what Chris Finch has done. Let's go check it out.
Oh, we want to run. We're stretching a lot of time, so we're smart about it. Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, right, if he makes both, okay, if he makes both, when we want to run when we come down.
Run high back.
Huh? What do you want to run? 1-4 low? 1-4 flow, okay. Listen, listen, we're going to run the screen across in 1-4, so look for it. Nah, shit, Pete don't know it. All right? Okay, yeah, put Trav down inside on the 1-4. You go to the corner opposite Trav. No. On Trav's side. On Trav's side. Okay, listen, don't go where they can get something going up the opposite way. Okay, they're going to double. They're going to double, though. All right, so somebody's got to be available. All right, here we go.
No, I think that was a very good foul on the play there by the Sheffield Sharks. Because even if Tony Dorsey makes these two, all he can do is tie the game now. If you let him pass around, maybe they hit a 3 and take the lead. The Sharks will get one last look no matter what happens.
Tony Dorsey, the only man on the starting 5 for the Manchester Giants not to win a league title. He has 2 free throws here to try and draw it level, but he's only been 40% from the line tonight. 2 huge shots for Dorsey, makes the first. And I was about to say everybody jumped to their feet, but they're all standing here. Dorsey to tie the title decider with 19 seconds to play. Yes! We're tied at 85. Myers now, Sheffield looking to win the title with the final shot of the game. Defense to cry. Overtime, Billy, or is it going to be one here?
It's going to be on this play right here by
Myers. Loses it. Sheffield ball.
We're going to find out now as we've got 3.5 seconds left.
3.5 seconds to go. The title is on the line. The winner wins the title. Chris Finch has 3.5 seconds to come up with a play here. He's called a timeout. Let's see what it is.
They must not turn it over. If you don't get the score, so wrong. What do you want to run? Triangle, okay, let's go. Triangle. No. Let's read it. Put Terrell out here, okay? I want this man screen and Todd. So who's that? You, Pete?
The nerves of the fans is evident there, Billy. They're all standing everywhere here in the MEN Arena. There's some lovely scenes.
Look at this lady biting her fingernails there, you know. This guy's rubbing his hands. These guys, I think right now, everybody's got butterflies in their belly. You know, it's a bit of nervous. 3.5 seconds will seem like a lifetime for both of these franchises and their fans.
Well, it's the greatest finish to a league season ever. Is it going to finish in 3.5 seconds, Billy, or do we need another 5 minutes?
This has been such a great game now. I'm actually hoping we see another 5, but remember the guy named Terrell Myers. He's going to get a shot off here, and he's won the Uniball Trophy a year ago on a last-second shot against the London Towers.
And Nick Nurse wasn't completely happy with everything. He's now called a timeout.
Nick looked at the Sharks' out-of-bounds play. Nick's done a great job scouting it. They played each other enough times. Now he's going to put their out-of-bounds play on the board and make some switches. But take a look.
There he was. He was just telling the players, but you see the nerves on the people around here. Now, Terrell Myers, as they came out of that timeout, he looked at somebody here in the front row of the crowd and just tell me, I'm going to take this shot.
And I think he pointed to his heart there to say, hey, I've got the heart to make it happen. I think Terrell Myers wants the shot. He said at the end of the National Cup final against us, he said, Coach Finch believes in me. He lets me take the big shots. And believe me, I don't care how many I've missed all day. I want the ball in my hands with the game on the line.
Well, we've still got 3.5 seconds. We're still tied at 85. The best 2 teams in the league are going to win to decide it right here. The Giants, who have not led since the first quarter, are hanging on here with one defense. They're looking for Myers. Myers fakes it. Now Myers to win the league. Yes! Terrell Myers has won the league. Beat shot of the
championship in British basketball, hitting the same shot against Kevin Cato's London Towers. Again, he wanted the ball. He had the heart. They executed the play. He made the shot. Terrell Myers, certainly my vote now for British basketball's 1999 Player of the Year.
Terrell Myers, what a huge shot, but he did the smart thing. He sold the fake, went round the defender, and hit the open jumper.
Cardinal sin of the defense there. You don't go for the head fakes. You stay on the floor. A block shot out there wasn't going to do any good. But when he went for the block and went for the fake, Terrell got the wide open shot.
Terrell Myers right in front of me and Billy here going, I got the heart, that was me. He did come up, and he played hard all the way through the season. Look at Chris Finch.
Chris Finch, in only his second year as a full-time professional coach, claiming his first National League, Budweiser League championship title, and all hats are off. They had to come in here against all odds, against 11,000 fans, and beat the Giants with all their great players and their experience. And look at that Sheffield crowd. A well-deserved victory today for the Sharks on the opponent's floor.
And you've got to feel sorry for the Manchester Giants. They're distraught over on the other bench there. They pushed it all the way and just at the end couldn't quite get it done.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, your heart has to go out to them. They had a great season. But again, you know, Nick Nurse said it best this week. They didn't even think this game was going to matter. They didn't think it was going to come down to this. If Robbie Pierce and the Chester Jets hadn't have beaten the Sharks this week, we'd have never had this title decided. So the Nick Nurse Giants, they got a second lease on life, courtesy of the Chester Jets. And today, the Sheffield Sharks made no mistake about it. For the 98-99 season, start to finish, they were the best of British basketball.
Certainly were. Remember, of course, at the beginning of the season, they started so tremendously. I've just got to give a quick mention to Matt Gaudio, who played a great job for the Sharks in the first 13 league games before that knee injury. They've got the M on the shorts in respect to him, and I'm sure they'll dig out one of their medals and send it over to him in the States.
Absolutely. It's kind of surprising that he's not here today. I would have thought that, you know, somebody in their organization would have dragged him on a plane and dragged him here today, but I'm quite sure he's in their hearts. He may not be here in physical presence, but in the heart, Todd Cawthorn, Travis Conlon, Terrell Myers, Pete Scantlebury, all the great Sharks that have done the job. There's Will Johnson, fouled out, but still saw his team win. And all those Sheffield Sharks fans who came here today to make it happen, Matt Gaudio, very much in their heart.
Pete Scantlebury, his 500th performance, and he picks up a league winner. Does it get any better than that?
You can't make your 500th performance much more memorable.
Here it is then, Todd Cawthorn going up for the trophy, receiving it from the Basketball League Chief Executive Mike Smith. There's Cawthorn, the second thing he's lifted this season, the third in the last 2 years. What a sweet, sweet moment it is for him. He picks it up, he raises it there for the fans and for the photographers in front of us. And what a sweet moment it is for everybody connected with Sheffield basketball.
Well, their organization this year has sort of been the epitome of what you want, because they brought back the coach from last year. They brought back almost all of their players. They kept their team intact. They made 3 additions during the year that I think were tremendous. Matt Gaudio in the beginning got him off to a great start because he fit right into the Sheffield mentality. Travis Conlon has been one of the best playmakers in the league and just really fit in with Terrell Myers in that backcourt. And then the third addition, the veteran Peter Scantlebury. Those 3 additions, with everything they kept intact from last year, they deserve to be the British Basketball Budweiser League 99 champions.
So what are the emotions now, Billy? You've been doing this for the last couple of years. How long is it before it really sinks into you?
Well, I can tell you the biggest emotion right now is the tear in my eye and Ed Simon's eyes. We finally see it drifting away here. But I tell you what, tonight will be a party in Sheffield. They'll party here in Manchester. You know, they'll stay on court and savor it as long as they can. I tell them they need to get up there and cut those nets down. We forgot to do that last year, so the Sharks still have a couple nets in Sheffield that I wish I had. But they should get up there, they should cut those nets down, everybody take a piece of it, give it to some of the special fans, enjoy the atmosphere, and just soak up this feeling in 9X Arena today.
It's the most dramatic finish in the history of basketball. The Sharks have won the league with the final shot of the season.
It's the second title in 5 years for the Sheffield Sharks. They go away at 2-point winners, 87-85 over Manchester at courtside. 21 points, 5 assists, plus the big shot of the season. Terrell Myers is with Suzanne.
He certainly is, and amongst all his fans who are going absolutely wild. Terrell Myers, you knew what gameplay you had at the end there. You knew that was going to go in.
I told Travis in the huddle, I was like, get me the ball. I was like, if you get me the ball, I'll win the game. And he said he wasn't going to look for anybody else but me. He gave me the ball, and I made good on my word.
Now, was there a little bit of nerves there? I mean,
baby!
Just joined by a few of his pals, of course. Was there a little bit of nervousness there, Terrell? Because it was such an important point in this game.
The last shot.
Oh, yeah.
I was more nervous at the beginning of the game, you know, but when it comes to the end of the game, I work so hard in the summertime that's what I live for. And if I get the ball, I feel that I'm always going to make it.
Well, you certainly did. Now, some of the comments that were made before this game, of course, was that, you know, can it live up to the hype of the week before? It certainly did. We couldn't have had a closer game, could we?
We knew it was going to be a great game, you know. We went down to Chester, we blew that, we blew our chance. So we came in here and we just wanted to give people what they wanted all year. And we came out and we proved, no ifs, ands, or buts, that we're the best this year.
How did you guys dig yourself out of the hole after you lost to Chester last Sunday?
I don't know. I mean, to tell you the truth, up until yesterday, I was still thinking about it. It hurt me up until yesterday, but today cures all of that.
Terrell Myers, you saved the day. Congratulations.